What's going on, YouTube heads? Thank you guys for tuning in. Special shout out to all of my patrons. And if you're subscribed, thank you guys for staying subscribed here through everything that happened the past 3 years. A lot of you guys been asking me about the chick that I woke up and she was camped out on my front porch. Had to call the law to have her removed, and I walked outside with them. They cuffed her, took her outside. I went out with them, and I saw a whole truckload of her shit piled up in my driveway. I told the cop, I said, man, I didn't even know this stuff was out here. She came here to stay, man. That was July of 2024. Been over a year ago. And she came back about 5 more times. I think a total of 6 times I had the law to come here and get her off my property. So after the 6th time, or 5th, whatever it was, she never came back anymore. Until October, 2025, October, she came back. I'm going to tell you about it. And I'm going to tell you all about what it's like living wifeless as an old man that had been married 49 years. It's a total change, man. I'm going to tell you what it's like. Because if you're married and you're 70 years old, it's probably going to happen to you too. If it hasn't already. I know some of you it has, because we talked about it. So anyways, get comfy. Get you a cigarette. A nice cool drink. Something to maybe chew. Or if you got a straw, go do that. And then come back and watch the rest of the video. I'm going to get you. Well, actually, I'm just going to reposition the camera and we'll get right into this. She came back, man. She brought the law with her. Yeah. Hold on. Alright, welcome back, folks. Thank you again for tuning in. I got the camera out here with the little red light that blinks on it this time. If cue ball comes around, I might be able to give you a fix. If she sees that red light, she just goes completely off the wall. She wouldn't do it in the last video. And I meant to say a few minutes ago, if you don't have a straw, back in the old days, we used to, they used to roll up a $1 bill. Anyways, enough of that. The chick that camped out on my back porch, or front porch actually, I woke up, I think if I remember right, it was July the 11th. How I remember that, I'm not sure anymore if it's even right or not, but I think it is. Got up that morning, put on a pot of coffee, and started pulling the blinds up, and saw blonde hair. And a lot of y'all already know this. Chick was passed out in the swing on my front porch here. Now keep in mind, my wife had been gone, I don't know, I guess a year. She left me, and then 2 years later, so she died. I know a lot of you already know this. Getting a lot of new subscribers. Thank you guys for that. Hang around, we're going to get into a lot of guitar stuff. And some videos like this one right here. Those of you that don't know about that girl, if you go look through my videos, if you want the whole story, and there's a lot of crap to it, look through the whole story, go back to July, look at my videos back in July of 2024. That's when it started, and there's like 3 videos about her. There was a lot more things happen, like the military helicopter flying over my house looking at me through binoculars and thought I was some other guy. They said the guy they was looking for looked just exactly like me, and they thought I was that guy, and cops came. This was all along about the time this crap was going on with the girl. Now, like I said, I had that girl removed from here like 5, I'm thinking probably 6 times. And last month, well, 2 months ago now, I meant to make this video sooner. There's so much crap to do. You know how it is. In October of 25, 2 months or so ago, I usually don't smoke on videos, but I'm going to smoke on this one. Now, occasionally I do. Okay, we're talking about 2 months ago. I don't remember the date exactly. It was October, though, of 2025. I think I was getting ready to put the blinds down. It was like 15 to 11 at night. Yeah, 11:45. And the car pulled in the driveway. Well, back up a little bit. That very same day, my son was out, and he got pulled over and got a ticket because he had a tail light out. This is in that brand new car I bought for my wife that she left me in. I got the car back now, at least. Anyways, he got a ticket that day, and at 11:45 at night, a police car pulled in the driveway. And I told my son, I said, they're probably wanting to talk to you about something, about that ticket or where they stopped you or something. So he answered the door. And he said he opened the door, and that girl was walking up to the carport with the big grin on her face now, mind you. And she said, I got raped. I've been raped. She said, with a big grin on her face, she said, I've been raped, and I need a place to stay for only a few days. And my son knew about all this crap that went on with her in 2024 all summer long, man. And the helicopter buzzing around out here and all that crap that went down. Like I say, you can go back and watch them videos if you want caught up on everything. It's a treat. It's a trip, man. If you just want to sit back and lean back in your easy chair and watch videos, go back to July 24 and find those 3 or maybe it was 4 videos of that about that girl. They're all ones like this. I wasn't repairing any guitars or any instruments related or anything. Anyway, she come walking up the carport, big grin on her face, said, I've been raped and I need to hang out here a few days till I can get situated. I think the girl was homeless. Anyways, my son told her right off, he said, what the hell, are you crazy? You can't move in here with us. He moved in here, and my 2 grandsons moved in here with me in May of 25, I think it was. Yeah, it was. And we still ain't got all their stuff put away. It's piled everywhere. There's no way we can take on any more than another person. But I wouldn't let her stay here anyway. And my son knew that. And he said, hell no. You can't stay here. He come back in and was telling me that. I said, did you not talk to the cop? And he said, no, the cop got out of the car and stood down there by the car. He didn't come up here to the carport with her. I said, man, you know, if I had answered the door, I would have gotten that cop shit big time. I would have said, dude, you know, you guys must not check your records very close. Because if you checked them, you would know I had her taken off of this place, away from here, at least 5 times, probably, I'm thinking 6. And if you knew your records had that in it, I don't believe you would have brought her back here. But I didn't get to talk to the cop. That's what I would have said if I talked to him, you know. Why don't you folks check your records, man? See how many times I had you come up here and get her. They was even bitching and complaining about having to come up here so much. I got right back in the cop shit last year. Told him, I said, hey, I don't like it any more than you do, man. I'm not doing anything to... I'm not asking that girl to come here or doing anything to persuade her to come here. She just keeps coming back. She's like 40. Let's see, my daughter died. She was 41. And this girl was a year older than her. And that's been probably 3 years when my daughter died, right at it. So the girl's probably 44, maybe 45 right now. I think. I don't know that, but that's a pretty good guess. Because her and my daughter were buddies when they were little kids, you know, and in school together and stuff. But that's what I would have told the cop if had I been the one to answer the door. I'd say, man, you know better. You should know better than to bring her here to want to move in with us. It ain't going to happen. So, anyways, my son told her, said, there's no way in hell you're going to move in here with us. So get out. And she left, he said, with a big smile on her face. So, you know, so a woman that gets raped is not going to be so cheerful and smiling. You know, if she got raped against her, you know, unconsensually, maybe would be the word. Consensually, unconsensually, whatever. They're not going to have a big ear-to-ear grin on their face if that actually happened. I don't know what happened to her, but she walked back down, got in the police car, and they left. And as far as I know, I haven't seen her anywhere when I've been out. I was out all day today. There for the longest time after it all happened in 24, every time my son would go out, or me, we would see her either hitchhiking or walking along the road somewhere. Almost every time we go out, we'd see her. My son showed me an old empty house on Brown Street out here. And it had an empty, I don't know if it was an apartment or maybe it was a garage. I don't think it didn't look like a garage. Anyways, you could tell the house had been empty a long time. The grass was up to your waist, man. And just didn't look like anybody lived there. And my son said he was pretty sure she was living in that building behind that house in that high, tall grass. Because he's seen her going in and out of there before. So I don't know where she's at now or what happened to her. All I know, she's not here. Like God, she wanted to move in here bad, I guess. But, you know, by her trying so many times. I'd say you can go back and watch those videos if you just want to watch videos all day. They're not all that long, really. But like I say, there's at least 3 of them that I remember. And I'm thinking maybe 4. This one will be the 4th or 5th one about her. So it'd been, the last time I saw the girl was the last time, actually had contact with her, was the last time she was here. I had to call the cops to come get her again, you know. And that was in probably, it was getting up into the year, it's like October, late October or November of 24. And I haven't seen her anymore other than just walking or hitchhiking and stuff. Didn't have any more contact. She never came back here. Well, she did come back here a couple times. I came home one night, put the truck in the garage, came down here, came through the chain link fence and locked the gate like I always do. Because we got dogs, we let them out in that fence and they don't run off. My son got up one day and let the dogs out, and one of them ran off, and we was all day long. Tally's her name. I'll have to introduce you to her some video. And she was going all day long. It was like 100 degrees that day. I said, man, she's probably dead from heat because she's black. I mean black. And just before dark that evening, my son and grandson said, well, we're going to make one more trip around the block, see if we see her. And they did. They found her. Some lady had knew or thought the dog was lost. She chained Tally up. And when my son stopped there, you know, of course the dog, she could tell that the dog knew my son. She said, well, I can tell you're the proper owner because the dog, you know, the way it's come to you, wouldn't let anybody else touch her. So we got her back. Anyways, that girl, I'm sure, was back here again like she was last summer. Came through the gate, checking all the windows and the doors back there for an open one. I told the cop 2 or 3 times here, I said, if I'm going and I come home and she's in the house, she's probably going to get shot. I said, I'm dead serious, man. I'm tired of this going on with that chick. This was last year. But I wholly believe it was her. Came in, checked all the windows and doors, which are all locked. And she never closes the door or locks the gate or locks anything when she leaves. And like I say, I was the last one through that gate the night before that, and I know for a fact I locked the gate, because I always do. Just wow, man. I think I might have heard Q-Ball coming to visit us. We got the camera with the red lights, so who knows what might happen. And also last summer, I don't know if I told you all this or not, my grandson had an old bicycle back here behind the carport in weeds. And my wife was here one day. This was after she left me, and she came back to get more of her stuff. And I didn't have my glasses on. I said, is that a bike laying down there in the yard? And she said, yeah. And it turned out it was my grandson's old bike. It was up behind the carport. And I'm sure it was that same girl saw it, stole it, pulled out of the driveway and didn't go 10 yards. Figured out this bike is not rideable. She just threw it over in the yard, in the ditch there next to the yard. I'm sure that was her did that, because nobody else has ever done anything like that here. For 33 years we lived here, we had things stolen maybe one time or maybe twice at the very most. Now, I had some neighbors that had some expensive things stolen from them. But everyone up the street here knows that I know they know because they've mentioned it before. They said, don't fool around that house down there. You could get shot. And they really could. I put cameras and motion lights up everywhere. Bright, wicked bright, like these lights. LED lights, super bright. They detect motion, they kick on, And cameras everywhere. So, I don't know how I got on that. Anyways, like I say, if you want to go back and watch those videos, it'd be worth your time. They're quite entertaining, I'm told. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. I don't know when you'll see this video, hopefully before Christmas. I made a video on that Torito guitar, I think right before Thanksgiving, like a day or two before Thanksgiving. So I never wished you happy Thanksgiving on that, but I hope you had a good one. And surely I'll get this video up and done before Christmas. And I hope you have a good Christmas too. I mentioned in a video not long ago about shingles blowing off. We had a windstorm come through here. Almost every time we have a windstorm, shingles blows off of the house. That never sleeps. And told you I'd tell you a reason why they come off so frequently. Me and my son had to go up there every year. I mean, sometimes more than a couple times a year, and put new ones back on. In 2012 or 13 or 14, along in there, I hired two really young boys, to put a new roof on this place. And they gave me an ideal price. I don't remember now what it was, but it must have been really good because I took it. That included, the labor and the shingles, and included taking all the old shingles off. And, the whole job was quite a bit cheaper. Well, cheaper than anyone else had quoted me. So I hired them. They were really young boys. I should have known, man, or at least ask some questions, before I let them work. I noticed the shingles that always blow off are on the end of the house that faces the northwest. And that's where most of the wind comes from. They blow off more in that area. None of the rest of them's ever blown off through all the storms we had since then. Well, as me and my son put them back on, they're peel and stick shingles, and I told him, I said, look at this. About halfway down the house, they started peeling and sticking them. From halfway to the end of the house, they didn't peel and stick them. I guess they didn't know you're supposed to. It said peel and stick right on the plastic thing he peeled off. In big red letters, peel and stick. Well, they didn't do it for the first, like I say, the first half of the house from the northwest end of it. And that's where they always come off. When the wind blows, that's where they always come off first. Well, that's the only place they ever came off. Funny thing is, I was digging around in a drawer the other day in there, and I found a paper my wife had written those boys' names and phone numbers down on. I don't know if they're still the same. Like I say, that was in 2012 or 13 or 14. Well, I had big thoughts about calling guys up saying, you know what? I found out you guys didn't peel and stick half of the shingles you put on my house. But I didn't do it. I never called them, at least not yet. I haven't. I may do it yet. YouTube's upgraded a bunch. I don't know if you guys know it or not. Have you heard of Chat GPT? I think it is. I have it on my phone. or Gemini, or Gemini, I think it's pronounced. Well, Gemini is YouTube's algorithm now. Yeah, I was shocked to hear that too, but it is, man. Gemini is completely YouTube's algorithm now, which probably is why a lot of my videos don't get out in people's feeds the way they're supposed to, or the way they used to. Or maybe it will, get it out to them more. I don't know. I hope it does, because I'm going to get back into this thing. You guys that's been here more than 3 years know why I've been away so much and things slowed down so much. And I'm trying my best to get it, pick back up on it. Lord knows I got plenty of instruments to do it with. Something else I want to talk about with these channels, with millions of subscribers, man. YouTube promotes their channels like it's just unbelievable. And a lot of them's just crap on the channels, The volume's all over the place. You try watching one of the videos, you better keep your hand on the volume, because it'll blast you out of your chair and then you can't hear anything. You got to crank it back up and then it'll blast you out of your chair again. Lord, what is wrong with these people? And most of the videos you see on those channels are stolen videos. And they monetize them. How they're getting by with that's beyond me. Unless they're getting written permission from the original content provider. And I kind of doubt that. I always said a lot of these big channels you see on YouTube nowadays, they don't even own a camera, man. They make it by stealing other people's videos and showing them on their channel and talking through them, telling you what's going on. I mean, you can clearly watch the video and see what's going on. The video quality is poor. I try to make my volume at one level all the way through the video, so you don't get blown out of your chair or have to stick your head inside the cone to hear it. And right now I'm making 4K videos. You can watch this video right here in 4K. Select it in your browser if you have the computer power. It takes a lot of computer power to do it, but you can. And I put a lot of money into lights and cameras, man. I got an 8K camera now. I've never used it on YouTube. I guess YouTube will take 8K. As far as I know, they will. But Lord, you'd have to have a powerful machine, man, to even watch a video in 8K. And last but not least, an old man living alone after being married 49 years. I'll tell you what, if it ain't happened to you yet, or an old woman even living alone after being married most of their life, is one major change. Now you can take that from somebody that experienced it firsthand. You guys that have been here more than 3 years, my mom died first. And then we lost our daughter of 41 years. My mom was 91. My daughter was 41. My dad, oddly enough, when he died in 1988, was 61. And makes me wonder if I live to see 71 or not. You know what I mean? There's like a pattern going there. Anyways, after all that, then my wife leaves me, and 2 years later she dies. And I'm getting all these hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of bills, man. And she left. I mean, we were still married, but we were separated, legally separated. She did that. I didn't know anything about it except that she legalized it. So I don't know why they're sending me bills for. I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars of bills. They flew her to that big hospital twice, I think. Pretty sure it's 2 times. But yeah, when you lived your life a certain way for 49 years with the same person every day and every night, and that person gets ripped out of your life completely, it was a big change when she left here for 2 years, the 2 years she was gone. That was a big change. But man, everything's changed. I mean, I don't know if you ever get over the heartache of it, Probably not. Not really. You got to learn to live with it and go on. Like they say, life goes on if you're lucky. And it's going on, but man, it's just so different than, it used to be. This place got dubbed the house that never sleeps because, man, for so many years, nobody slept. I mean, 24 hours a day, someone, somewhere in this house was awake and up doing something. For years it was that way. That's how it got the name the house that never sleeps, because, somebody was up, usually more than one person, doing something all the time, every day and every night, 24/7, man. We never laid down and all of us went to sleep. Maybe the only time I can think that might have happened was after Thanksgiving dinner. By the way, my son and me pulled it off, man, this year. We got a 13-pound turkey, which is plenty big enough for the three of us that are here now. The older grandson works away and lives away most of the time. So a 13-pound turkey was plenty a bird for the three of us. And we used the AI, learned how to bake it, and it came out really good, man. He did most of it. I looked up most of the stuff and told him what I'd found, and he did most of the labor. He made, he baked the turkey, and he made, everything. The whole meal, basically. And we ate on that for like 2 or 3 days after Thanksgiving. I got a lady, a friend of mine, I don't know if she'll see this video, even if she watches them or not, baked me a couple of pies, and they really helped a lot too. And yeah, it's just different, man. My wife would cook the ungodliest huge meal for Thanksgiving every year. I usually was out in the woods or the fields hunting, and I'd come in and smell that and just sit back in a recliner and go to sleep breathing it. It was so good. And that's all changed, man. I mean, if we get any dinner at all, we got to fix it ourselves, because we're womanless here. Not that I'm womanless. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard of Tinder. Wow, I just logged onto it to see what it was like. You can get just about anything you can imagine off of Tinder within an hour. Any time of day or night, pretty much anywhere. Unbelievable. So in that regards, we're not completely womanist, I guess you could say, but having a woman at home, or not having one at home rather, that is different. When you've lived it 49 years and bam, it's changed, it's gone. So many family members gone within a 3-year period of time. That alone will change life as you know it. I guarantee it, man. Especially if you love your family members. And if you do, I suggest you get up out of your chair, off your ass right now, and go to where they are and tell them you love them. Do it! Thank you guys for watching. I got notes here. That's about all I had. I want to tell you about her coming back yet again. I mean, she wanted to move in here. You could see that from the crap she brought the first time. Piled it all out in the driveway. Cops took her away, and I called on her and I said, I'm not going to be responsible for her stuff out here. They said, well, you have to be somewhat responsible. And I said, well, I'm being somewhat responsible letting it remain there, not putting it in the junk and let the garbage man take it. And I think somebody did steal some stuff out of it. Days, many days, I would go out there to get the mail or whatever, and the lid, she had these big bins with lids on them, waterproof, and many days I'd go out there in the morning and the lids be off of them, laying in the yard or in the road or across the street. I'd get them and put them back on there, But I would say someone was taking them lids off because they snapped on. They were actually kind of hard to get off. And I'm pretty sure somebody was, walking and sneaking at night, and that's why all the cameras and motion lights went up too, by the way. But, you're just asking for thieves to stop setting shit out by the road like that. I don't know that they did. I'm just saying they probably did, by those lids being off every other day or so. Anyways, go back and watch those videos. I would urge you to do that if you have some time. You just want to watch the tube for a while. They're pretty entertaining. I don't remember if I got that helicopter flying around that day or not. I can't remember, but I talked about it. It's in one of those videos about that girl. So go back to July 24 in my videos and you'll find them. They're pretty easy to find. Wow. Thank you guys for watching, man. Peace to you. I love every one of you. Thank you, the patrons. Thank you, the ones that are still subscribed and come to these videos. Thank you so much. I mean, man, my views have dropped something fierce the past 3 years. And I get it, man, because I haven't been making that many videos. It's hard to get your heart and mind and anything else into making videos when you go through what we went through with my mom and my daughter and then my wife. But we're back. I hope we are anyways. And I'm going to do the best I can. So you guys keep it here. If you're not subscribed, then do it! Do it! And you'll be glad you did in the end. Thanks for watching. See you next time.